Hi guys, this is Hazel Lucia Tarot, and I have another reading here for you today. And we're kind of doing something a little different. I'm not having a set theme. This is just going to be universal guidance, messages from your higher self, the universe, spirit, just anything that comes up. Because I've noticed that when I do my readings, sometimes they tend to go a little bit off theme. So I'd rather just channel spirit and see what it has to say to you. I don't even really have a title for this yet, so I'm kind of just gonna name it the best thing I can name it whenever I've finally put it up on YouTube. But I do have 4 piles here for you today. I've already pre-selected your cards. So we're gonna have pile 1, the Swan, with this blue apatite palm stone. Unicorn with this beautiful flower agate stone for pile 2. Pile 3 has a Gazelle with a shungite palm stone. And pile 4 will be a Froggy with this really nice garnet palm stone. So take your time to decide which pile you want, and I'll see you when you're ready. Hello there, pile 1. If you chose the Swan and the blue apatite palm stone, this is your reading. So instead of the energy check that I usually use to tell people's energies, we're going to be using the energy check to see what it is your reading is going to be about. As you saw in the intro, this is kind of a free-form reading. I'm not really having a set theme. It's more like we're going to be looking at what advice or messages the universe has to give you right now. So we're going to start by spreading all the cards. We have this one right here. And these are all oracle cards. We have creativity, Shaolin Master, be graceful in movement and action, Heart Guardian, love and let yourself be loved, Series, nurture, Touching Earth, planting something new, Setting boundaries, Threshold, protection, honor, and Nigella. And I'll let you look at the back of the card. Make sure that's in shot if you want to see what the cards have to say. But I'm just going to read confusion and a few words from this. The meaning of a Nigella flower are quite a muddle of emotions. On the one hand, it represents embarrassment, perplexity, and says, "You puzzle me." On the other hand, it is said to symbolize delicacy. Nigella is great for that early stage of a relationship. It could represent love or just confusion. So I'm getting perhaps a little bit of a situationship here, pile 1, because the Swan especially makes me think of a partner, marriage, because I think swans are a symbol for marriage in a lot of cultures. Also the reflection in this. But I'm also getting kind of a situationship where boundaries need to be set, or you're starting something new. I don't know if this is the ending or the beginning of a relationship. More like somewhere in between. Or maybe you're in between relationships. Or maybe that's the whole theme of this. I'm getting a sense that you need to be putting yourself first, though. Especially with Heart Guardian, love and let yourself be loved. You need to make sure that there's a lot of love going towards yourself first. So it's more like you're trying to set the ground rules for what it is that you want out of your love life or your relationship, if there is somebody involved. I feel like there's nobody involved yet. it's more like you're in this in-between stage where you're trying to figure out who you are, what it is you want, what it is you want to create. Because it's creativity. I was thinking sacral energy first because the sacral chakra does deal with creativity, and because the Shaolin master is wearing orange. I know that's what they usually wear because that's traditional monk garb. But I'm also feeling perhaps whatever you have left behind has done a number on your sacral chakra. It has done a number on what it is you want. With a nurture, this is reaping. I'm getting you reap what you sow. So it's you're beginning to plant the seeds of something that you want, whatever it is going forward with your life. And you've been doing a lot of reflecting, because I think this is the swan in the water, and this is a reflection of the swan. They're not two swans looking at each other. It's the reflection of the swan. It's like you're taking a good look at yourself to see what it is that you feel is missing from your life. There's nothing missing from your life. You don't need anybody to feel complete or whole. But you've been thinking about that lately. Pile one. I'm going to get some tea leaf cards just to further give us some information on what it is that you're going through. I'm also seeing the number 3 a lot. 1 plus 2 is 3, and then 33. So you might be 30 or nearing 30, because we also have 29 here. Or 3 may be an important number, which I guess for some people their 30s might be that stage in life where they're starting to think, do I want a relationship? Do I not want one? Because either way you're fine, and there's no shame for wanting either or. If anything, I feel like your 30s, because I'm 33 now, I feel like your 30s are really that stage where you know what you want and you know what you don't want, or at the very least you're beginning to know what it is that you want and don't want. You're also a lot more secure in life. Like, I don't know about you guys, but once I turned 30, I realized I kind of like it. I'm still young enough to make mistakes and but old enough to have my shit together. Like, I make my own money, I have my freedom. People don't really tell me what to do unless it's at work. But I still have that youthful need to seek adventure, love, new aspirations, which I'm also getting with creativity here. All right, let's get these tea leaves. I'm just trying to channel to see what else I can get out of this. So we have woman, dealings or relationship with a woman. We have bag, something important such as a new job or a raise. Marriage, you know what, I'm putting this over here. Marriage. Funnel, period of frustrations, lessons to be learned. And crib, birth or conception of a child or enterprise. I don't get the feeling you're pregnant, if this is what the case. Like, I nothing about this really gives me. You may be thinking about children if you want them or not in your life, going forward into the future. But I'm also getting a sense, actually, maybe I was right with the creativity. It feels like you're starting something new. You're starting something new, and you're trying to figure out how this is going to work into the rest of your life. With woman, you may have been in a relationship with a woman, or maybe whatever brought this on, maybe a woman, just that. I'm not sure, but definitely feminine energy going on here. Very much in your feelings, in your yin nature. Not to say that all women are feminine or yin dominant. It's more like, I'm just getting feminine nature out of this, regardless of your gender, what you identify as. With bag, new job, raise, yes, you're definitely, if there is a move, it might be financial or career-wise. But there is a sense of frustration here. And what that frustration is might just be internal. Maybe you've been trying to make certain things work that just are not working. I'm feeling a lot of heart chakra, like a very frustrated, very constricted heart chakra. And heart chakra is very much a self-love. It has to do with self-love, but maybe also love towards others. Maybe whatever you've left behind has left you a little bit jaded for how you feel towards people and a little bit guarded. It's like you gave yourself openly and completely to whatever it was that you ended up leaving behind, and it's kind of shut you up a little bit, which everybody gets into that energy a little after a breakup or after the ending of something that you thought would bring something good. If marriage is your goal, which it probably is if this entire reading has been about a relationship, and if it's something you're really having a lot of turmoil with, it's almost like you may want to give up, maybe because you're nearing your 30s and you're thinking, wow, am I going to be alone forever? Like, you may have friends who have already been married, or people just already ahead in their life compared to you. And I'm just letting you know there's nothing wrong with that. One thing I love about my generation is that we're very much breaking the mold and the stereotype for that. We're big on setting boundaries. We're big on protecting ourselves, because if we can't take care of ourselves, how are we going to take care of anybody else? I'm getting that RuPaul quote that he says. It's like, if you don't love yourself, how are you going to love anybody else? So whatever wounds you've taken from whatever it is you're leaving, make sure you mend them well before you move forward. And you may feel that you may feel, let's say you are further along in life, or whatever age you are, you may feel like you've already gone through this so many times, like, I've learned my lesson, and maybe you're frustrated at the fact that for some reason you just have not learned. I'm getting a sense of shadow work here, and this is where you work on yourself, you work on anything within you, any systems, any habits, anything that's just holding you back, because that's what I get the feeling with setting boundaries. Not just setting boundaries in that who it is you let in and out of your life, or what kind of people you want in and out of your life. It's also setting boundaries with yourself. It's like you're becoming aware of what it is that is holding you back. And not just other people, because I think it's easy to point the finger at other people when they're holding you back. It's harder to point the finger at yourself when you're looking at yourself in the mirror. It's like, well, is it them, or am I bringing this to me? I think that's one thing you need to figure out. Is it me or is it them? And when you realize, because like 50% of the time, a good amount of the time, you'll realize it's you. It's something that's been implanted in you at some point in your past that is making you a beacon for this kind of situation, this kind of problem, these kinds of people. So set boundaries with yourself. If you've noticed that you keep attracting a certain kind of person into your life, look at yourself and ask, why? Why do I subconsciously keep letting this happen? And I'm not saying you should blame yourself for everything. Not at all. It's more like, be aware of your patterns. Be aware of the patterns that you've allowed yourself to develop. Be aware of what it is that is holding you back, keeping you down, not allowing you to live your best life. With touching earth and planting something new, and creativity. This entire side just makes me feel like you're looking forward to new ventures. You're looking forward to new things. And perhaps, and this is great, this is amazing that you do this pile one, but perhaps you use it as a way to distract from the fact of what's going on inside. You use it as a way to not have to deal with it. Because I'm looking at this little guy over here. He always reminds me of Krillin from Dragon Ball. See if you watch that. But I'm thinking, it's like you're focusing on this. You're focusing on all this amazing stuff you do, because I get the sense that you do make good money, that you do have a career that you love, or you'll be close to that in the future. But you're not really listening to your little friend here, this little grasshopper, or no, sorry, praying mantis. It's like he's trying to tell you something, but you're just focusing on your bag. You're focusing on something else. But maybe you should listen to your little praying mantis a little more. It might be trying to tell you, hey, let's stop doing this to ourselves, because we have a full life we want to live. We don't just want to focus on your career or your talent or whatever it is that is bringing you this abundance and amazingness into your life. We also want to think about, what do we want in the future? I'm sensing the heart. Yeah, I'm sensing the heartbreak, and I'm so sorry that you're going through this pile one. And I'm here to tell you that you will get through this, because you're pretty amazing and because you have so much to offer the world. Let's move on to your tarot and see what we can get from that. Yeah, if you're into meditation or any sort of energy healing, I do recommend you focus on the heart chakra space or any self-love type of situation, because you give so much to every other aspect of your life. You need to give more to yourself. Pile one. Right. For your tarot cards, we have Queen of Swords, Nine of Swords, there's that heartbreak again, Judgment, Five of Cups, Page of Swords. I'm going to be clarifying this with Shadowscapes Tarot. I didn't pre-shuffle a lot of these because I didn't have the time, but that's fine. I need to practice my live shuffling as much as I dislike it, because I'm a big believer that whether you shuffle them or not, you're still going to get the messages you need, because the power really comes within the reader themselves. We channel and we just use these cards to better portray what it is, the story we need to tell you. It's also visually pleasing for you, I'm sure. I like to watch these because of the cards and the art and everything, the symbology within these cards. So to clarify the Queen of Swords, we have Five of Swords. To clarify Nine of Swords, Judgment again. Yeah, big life decisions you're making here, pile one. To clarify Judgment, Seven of Swords. To clarify Five of Cups, the Hanged Man. And to clarify Page of Swords, a Tower. Oh gosh, you're really going through it, pile one. I'm sending you so much love. So much love, because I get the sense that you're not used to heartbreak, or maybe you're not used to the emotional side of certain situations, whatever this is. If this is a relationship, maybe you're just so used to being, very, how would I say this? You're not used to this much intensity, or whatever it is that you took on. You just feel, and this is not me saying this, but this is what I'm sensing, you feel stupid for having gone through this. And you are not. We all make mistakes, and we all learn through what it is we go through. But I get the sense with both the Queen and Page of Swords that you're a very logical person. You're very much even positive, because I'm not getting the sense that this is a judgmental, despite these two cards, you're not a very judgmental person. You're very open-minded, logical, you think clearly, you weigh your options before you take anything on. But somehow you ended up feeling wrong. With the Five of Swords, you have loss here. Like you still retain parts of yourself. You still retain this positivity within you. You can't diminish that. I get the sense that it's very positive. With the Nine of Swords is anxiety, heartbreak, the things that keep you up at night. It's like, oh, I'm just so sorry for you, Pile 1. I wish I could give you a hug. But the fact that the Judgment card is here twice, this is you making a bold move because of this. Seven of Swords, there's been deceit, there's been lies. Probably from whatever situation you're coming out of. And again, we have swans, by the way. I'm sorry, I don't plan this. This tarot deck specifically uses birds and swans for the sword suit, and there's black swans here. There's a white swan here. So perhaps this was somebody you were engaged to, because I do take swans to signify marriage, proposals, what have you. Maybe you came out of a really long-term relationship, or even a marriage. Maybe you were married and this is a divorce, and you're just having to turn your life over. You're having to redo everything, and it's taking its toll on you. With the Five of Cups, again, loss, but this is emotional. It's like for the first time you're having to deal with emotions when you're not used to this. And I get the sense of loneliness. Like in most of these cards, everybody is by themselves, with the exception of this one, but I even take this to mean like a higher being, a God, spirit, the universe, and these are the people praying. Geez, maybe for the first time in your life you're finding yourself praying for something. Regardless of your religion or spiritual background, maybe you're just asking the universe for the hurt to stop, which, you know, I've been there. But back to the Five of Cups, you're having to deal with emotions. The Hangman makes me think of you were wrong about something. And then the Tower, you were blindsided by this. It kind of came out of nowhere. It's almost like you didn't see this coming, despite the fact that you took everything into account. Yeah, my third eye is starting to throb, like almost painfully. So it's like you decided to maybe blind yourself to the fact that you saw some red flags. Maybe you didn't want to believe that, you didn't want to see the negativity. You decided to think better of it because you're such a positive person, because you thought you could be able to handle everything, but it turns out you still can. I get the feeling you still can. But it's a lot to take on emotionally, and it's very heavy energy. I'm gonna get more tea leaves just to get more insight to this. Let's get some. I'm not at the advice cards yet. But let me get. How can Pile 1? What should Pile 1 focus on to better the situation or to learn from the situation? Because regardless of what you went through, there are lessons in everything. And I hate, and yeah, I know, I think it's tired that we have to go through shit to be able to grow and to be better people and whatever. No one deserves to go through anything awful. But it's eye-opening, isn't it? It's like you get a better understanding of not just yourself, but of people in general and of the world around you. My biggest heartbreak, I don't know why my heart broke so bad, because when I look back at the guy, I'm just like, ugh, I can't believe I was like that over that guy. But it came so profoundly, and I found myself being able to speak to spirit, and I get the sense it was always there, but I didn't really dive deeply into this until then. And I'm kind of grateful I went through that, because now I have such a better sense of who I am as a person. I'm so much happier than I was back then. And I know that going forward, I can only be that much happier. And it's almost like, regardless of what life throws at me, I know I can handle it. Because I'm a blessed person. I can do this, and so can you, Pile One. You're a very confident person. I'm just getting the sense that you're typically very confident, but there's like a shroud of sadness over you. It's like you're this person who decided to put on a black coat, but underneath it, you're probably very brightly colored. But let me get some tea leaves for you. And even this bed, like, she's crying and she's upset, but her bed is so pretty. Look at all the flowers. And you know this background is just her nightmare. But when she wakes up, it's gonna be fine. Alright, some advice for Pile One. Flowers. Happiness. Exactly. June. Maybe the month of June is significant for you. But I'm also, look at how this creature in this card looks a lot like the Judgment cards, because they both have these angels. So you're getting uplifted by spirit, or maybe somebody comes into your life that is like an angel, maybe a mentor or friend. And there's also flowers there. Grasshopper. Didn't I call the mantis a grasshopper earlier? Situations in the balance that require careful handling. So yeah, you're handling these things very well, young grasshopper. That might be something people call you. And scales, keep your life in balance. So yeah, I just get the sense that spirit doesn't want you to go deeply into this, what could possibly be a depressive episode, or to just Spirit wants you to let go, and to let go cleanly and with a lot of love. I was thinking of the setting boundaries card from earlier. Spirit wants you to leave the situation with love and knowing that you are fully backed by the universe, because look at this lady right here. She's got this tiger behind her, or tiger or leopard? This big protective cat behind her. You may be a cat person, I don't know. But it's like, go on and set your boundaries. We have your back. Go on and set your boundaries, because you are so divinely protected and so loved by not just the universe, but by a lot of people. I get that there's a lot of love in there, and whatever the situation was came and shattered that heart. But it didn't shatter it, it fractured it. And fractures can be fixed. Fractures can be mended. I'm thinking of, I don't know what it's called, but the Japanese practice of adding gold to cracks. This is just going to make you grow as a person and make you that much more of a beautiful person, Pile One. But my heart still goes out to you, and I really hope that some of the messages I'm giving you are resonating with you, because I know it's easy to say stuff when you're not going through it. When you're heartbroken, you're just like, yeah, sure, you're just saying it to make me feel better. But no, I think I think you need to be reminded just how much love you are. You are the embodiment of love, and how much love people have towards you in general. All right, let's move on to the last part of our reading with advice. And again, I am live shuffling these because I didn't get a chance to pre-shuffle. I don't know where my time goes sometimes. I'm going to be using some Oracle cards from the Work Your Light Oracle, which is one of my favorites. Alright, Spirit, I need some advice for pile 1. What can I get for you? Share your voice. Come out of the cave. Persecution. Expression. You're already doing it. Stop overthinking. Keep facing your true north. I'm also using cards from the Ritual deck, which is out of print sadly, but it's one of my favorites. It's got so many uses. Some ritual advice for my pile 1. Oh, we got 2. Conch and Green Aventurine. I like how these match, even though they're 2 separate card decks. And okay, you get 2 again. Palo Santo and frankincense. 2 of my favorite herbs to cleanse with, by the way. You need to cleanse out that sacral chakra, pile 1. If this was a romantic relationship where you had sexual relations, you need to cleanse out. I'm sorry. I'm pretty bad about speaking about this kind of stuff. In public, in person, I have the dirtiest sense of humor, but when it comes to presenting myself in front of other people, I'm like a whole different person. But yeah, lots of sacral chakra. I had the feeling that whomever you were with probably interfered a lot with your creative process. And yeah, because my throat is getting super dry right now. Whomever it was you were with, they were hindering your creative process and probably holding you back when it came to your job, career, or whatever it is you do for a living. If not on purpose, if not actually physically, then definitely in a spiritual sense. You may have felt very drained by them after having been with them, or you may have found yourself just foggy, cloudy in the head. That's what I'm getting with Palo Santo, because I also kind of felt that in the beginning of this reading, but I didn't bring it up for whatever reason. Sometimes I look at these cards and I just have a lot to say, so I don't know what to focus on. But I'm getting that with Palo Santo, and it's a very nice smelling, it's not an herb, it's a stick that you burn like incense, and I love that it's just, we just burn it and that's how it is. With frankincense, you're opening yourself. Maybe you're going through something similar to what I did, where you're opening yourself a little bit more up to spirit and to the metaphysical, or at the very least to meditation, to your mind space, to seeing how it is you can better take charge of your emotions, to handle them, to process them better. And frankincense is wonderful. Frankincense is what they burn in Catholic churches. If you are Catholic or happen to be in an area where Catholicism is predominant, even just going when like mass is not in session and sitting there and meditating, regardless of your religion, I like to go there just to meditate. I don't really pray the way I used to when I was younger, because I was brought up Catholic, and I know all the prayers and everything, but I don't do that anymore. I kind of just go there and sit and do my own thing. Respect, because I still have a lot of respect for the spaces that religious and spiritual practices give us. This would be the equivalent of like going to a temple or going to just any place of worship. I have a lot of respect for that, regardless of the religion itself. and just allowing myself to be in that very meditative space. And you learn to breathe a little better, because maybe you're focusing on your breathwork, pile 1, because I actually have a little bit of trouble when it comes to presenting these readings, even though I love doing them, and I've been doing this for years. When it comes to actually presenting, I can't breathe that well, so my voice is probably all over the place. But you're learning how to breathe properly, pile 1. I think this is opening you up to, because I get awakening from the conch shell and regaining your power that way. Maybe whomever you were with kind of was in a very dark space, and you needed to find some way out of it, because you were in it for so long that you didn't realize that your vibration, your energy was just being either drained or lowered so low that you didn't even recognize that space anymore. And it's like, I'm usually happier than this. I'm usually I'm better than this, is what I'm sensing. I'm also getting that from a green aventurine, which is also a heart chakra stone, but happiness, opportunity, growth. Yeah, this person was hindering your growth. With share your voice, I'm getting 2 things out of it. I'm getting a little bit of hermit energy, where you kind of want to be locked away and not have anything to do with anything, which is understandable. I'm also getting that you kind of need to speak up about this, because you don't know who it is that you could be helping by sharing your story. You don't know who it is that you could attract that could help you by sharing your story as well. It just benefits everything and everybody. And we understand that that sometimes being away from everybody is healing in and of itself. So it's okay if you need to take the time off to do so, but don't stay in that energy. Spirit is letting me know that you could probably live like a hermit if given the choice and never come out of your shell, but you need to. You can't stay in this conch. You need to use that conch to spread your voice and allow people to know your story or your situation. Because I'm thinking of, I don't know if it's conch shells, but the shells that people use to like exclaim, like they use it as a trumpet or something. I think that's a conch. It makes sense because this card is actually, it makes more sense with these 2 cards rather than the ones that it was with over here. These are all from the same deck. And you got more. I was only meaning to grab 2 and you ended up getting 4. So yeah, you're a very abundant person, pile 1. Not just in money and not just in popularity, but also in love and in what you have to offer people. You're already doing it. Stop overthinking, keep facing your true north. You're already healing. And because you're aware of what's going on here, you're already in the healing process and in the process of finding better things for you. And this makes me so happy to know, pile 1. Like you'll get out of this a better person. I promise you. But that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for letting me read for you, and I really hope this reading resonated with you. If you enjoyed any of this, you feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. I am offering readings, so I'll leave my details in the description below. And until then, I'll see you in the next reading. Bye. Hello there, pile 2. If you chose the unicorn and this lovely flower agate palm stone, this is your reading. Like I said at the beginning of the reading, or in the opening, this is going to be a free-form universal guidance from spirit. So we're just going to be channeling random messages to see what it is you get. We're going to be using the Oracle energy check to see what your reading is going to be about. So let's get started with sweetness, which is appropriate because you picked the unicorn and the flower agate. Pallas Athena, I think. Saturn, structure. Grateful optimism, joyous view of the future. We have orange blossom, orange blossom with chastity. Here is, I'm gonna go ahead and give you a little bit of the description in the back so you can snapshot that and read it in your own time, but I'm just gonna read a few sentences from this. Orange blossom, chastity. The meaning of this delicate white flower continues to be linked to marriage and can be used to say everything from "Will you marry me?" to "I will love you forever." That's so sweet. And finally, guardian angel, you are not alone. All right, pile 2, you give off such a beautiful, sweet energy, and you smell really nice. Like right before I hit record, I just got this whiff of like a very sweet scent, and it's something that I don't wear, so I know it wasn't me. It was like something like flowers. I don't typically have flower or floral scents in my house, but you just give me such a sweet energy. And I get the feeling that you're not just a very sweet person, you're also very smart. You are definitely very much a spiritual person. I get the sense that you probably do believe in angels or spirit guides or guardians, because there's something otherworldly about you, something very dreamy, something almost like a very sweet, innocent person who's got their head in the clouds, who daydreams a lot. And if you don't see yourself this way, this is how people may perceive you, pile 2. It's funny that I'm getting a lot about your energy, because this wasn't meant to be a traditional energy check. This is meant to be a what's going on in your life and what advice do you need. But Spirit's trying to introduce me to your energy, pile 2. You're very much lollipops and rainbows and like sweet, sugar spice and everything nice. And you have a very bubbly energy too, because I keep wanting to giggle and I'm trying to suppress it. But with the unicorn here, you're very much into your spiritual energy. I get you may believe in a lot of things that people don't. You may even be a lot like this lady in this card, just always smiling, very happy. And she has her hands like right here near her solar plexus, so you may have a lot of confidence, or you may give off that confidence at the very least. But then we have these two astrological cards, and I get the sense you're actually a lot smarter than people would perceive you to be. You give me a little bit of Elle Woods from Legally Blonde, where you just come in so bubbly, so happy, so pretty, but then you open your mouth and it's like, oh, you know what you're talking about. And I love that about you, pile 2. You're very smart. With Pallas Athena, Athena is the goddess of war, but specifically is the goddess of strategy. So you know how to go about doing your thing. You're probably somebody who plans out things very well. With Saturn, we have structure. And Saturn energy is very much someone who is disciplined and somebody who knows how to get the job done, somebody who works very well, somebody who doesn't mind working hard if it'll get them the results that they need and that they want. So you have this bubbly, cute little outer shell, but on the inside, you're a force to be reckoned with. And I just really love this energy, pile 2. Let me know if any of this resonates, or if people tend to, I don't even know what I'm trying to say. You might be a little bit flaky and maybe just a little bit ditzy, and I'm not trying to be mean. But once you're in your energy, once you're in your element, it's like a light switch flips on and suddenly you command the house, you command the boardroom. this card, I keep getting drawn to this card because it's like, you know how to channel spirit to get what it is you want. You're probably a great manifester too. With the marriage from this orange blossom, you might be headed towards marriage. You might have been recently engaged, and you might even become pregnant soon, because this lady holding her hands right there at her abdomen makes me think she's rubbing her belly, like with a baby in there. Or it might be that, you know, marriage and motherhood, if this is what you want, if this is what you're going towards, might make you sweet. Or even smarter. It might just amplify what you already have or what you didn't know you had. Pile one. I'm gonna get some tea leaf cards to give me something about your situation. Though right now I don't really think there's much going on, except that maybe you're just such a presence in people's lives. You might be somewhere new and people are getting to know you, and this is the vibe you give off, where you're just super sweet, but then they talk to you and it's like, oh, she's smart. Oh, she knows what she's doing. Oh, I better watch out because I underestimated her. Or, wait, is that a word? Underestimated her. And I'm also getting feminine energy, so I get the sense that regardless of your gender or sex or what you identify as, this is very much yin feminine energy, and it's very sweet energy. Like, I get the sense people love you very easily. Let's see. We have bread, period of prosperity and abundance. We have love. Yeah, people love you, pile two, because you're so sweet. But at the very least, your energy is super sweet. Fair woman. Yeah, I was thinking blonde. Like, you might be blonde, or even if you're not, you may have, like, I don't know, like the kind of girl who loves to wear pink. I'm also getting the Barbie movie because I just saw that, and maybe you're completely vibing that film right now. And the last one, angel. Okay, this is the second time we get, I mean, angels come up a lot in this deck, but the fact that it's also coming up in the tea leaves. Spiritual guidance, protection from harm. Yes, you're very divinely protected, and you probably do pray to your angels. You probably have like a little set of spirit guides and angels or ancestors, what have you, that you're very grateful for and that you're very connected to. Period of prosperity and abundance. If you're not here already, you probably will be, or you may work in a bakery because of bread and sweetness together. You might be. I'm a cake decorator currently, so this is what I'm thinking when I see these two. But I am not blonde, so this can't be me. Nor am I that bubbly. Not as bubbly as this energy. It's just, it's kind of hard to maintain because you just make me want to giggle. But you're a very fun person, pile two, and I cannot wait to see what the tarot has to say for you. So let's go ahead and do that, because I'm not getting much except your personality here, and it's very lovely. Alright, for the tarot, we're using the Modern Witch Tarot deck. Ace of Wands, Temperance, Six of Cups, the Star, Knight of Cups, and to clarify these cards, I'm going to use the Shadowscapes. Though I am getting a lot of the energy I sensed before, pile two. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Alright, to clarify the Ace of Wands, we have the High Priestess. To clarify Temperance, Page of Swords. To clarify Six of Cups, Justice. To clarify the Star, the Magician. Wow. And to clarify the Knight of Cups, Seven of Swords. Okay. So yeah. Oh, I'm back at the deck just because I happened to glance at it. The Tower. Okay, yeah, you're in a new situation, pile 2. And I'm glad these two came out because so far all this was telling me is like, people love you, you're great, you're amazing at what you do. And I'm like, okay, this is amazing, and that's you know, wonderful. But I want to give some advice to you, not just give you praise. You might just need the praise. Maybe you came to this reading because you need an affirmation that people adore you, that you're an amazing person, and that you're also smart. You're not just, you know, a pretty face with bubbly cute energy. You're also very intelligent. You're capable of so much, and you can handle whatever life throws at you, pile 2. With the Ace of Wands, yeah, you're somewhere new, or you've started something new. Maybe a new job, maybe you're living in a new location, maybe you're I get the sense that people are getting to know you wherever it is that you are, or maybe you've been introduced to a friend group or whatever the situation may be, and I'm getting a lot of what your personality is because you need to know how you're being perceived, and it's all positive, pile 2. I'm letting you know that people are loving the kind of person you are. They just, you know, they think nothing but great things about you. With the High Priestess, yeah, you're a very spiritual individual. You probably meditate a lot or do energy work, or clearly you love tarot readings, so you're here. Thank you for joining me. You're very divinely guided as well, and I think this kind of adds to your intelligence. I consider intelligence and intuition the same thing, and you may resonate with this as well. Through your intuition, you learn a lot better. Through your intuition, you kind of just know things. And it can feel sometimes like you've been there before, or like you can put things together a lot faster because you use your intuition. A lot of scientists, I feel like this is how they work a lot. They just get a gut feeling about something, and then they go on to invent this and that, or to make these hypotheses and theses that they test, and suddenly, you know, it ends up being correct. You might be a scientist, your field might be science, pile 2. With Temperance, you're a very well-balanced person, or at the very least, you know how to, you know when to give, when to receive. I'm also getting out with the Six of Cups. You know when to dial it back, you know when to give more. The Page of Swords, I'm just getting that intellect as well. But people don't perceive you as, say, a Queen or King of Swords. They always perceive you as Page. And this could also just be curiosity. Your intelligence may come from the fact that you're a very curious person. You ask a lot of questions, and you enjoy that. You enjoy getting to know things, asking about certain situations. With the Six of Cups, you just befriend people very easily, pile 2, because I'm looking at this person and how she's just openly giving this child a cup. Like, you may be a very sweet and giving person. And people recognize and notice that. I'm also noticing that there's like a lot of like, only these two are the cup cards, but the Star and Temperance also have cups. You may be very emotionally nurturing, pile 2. Or you may be a very understanding person, and people like this about you, and therefore you're able to make friends very easily. I'm also getting that with the cup suits here. With the Star, I'm getting Aquarius energy. So you might be an Aquarius, or have a lot of Aquarius in your chart, or just give off those vibes. You don't even have to have Aquarius in your chart. Sometimes people just have a strong Uranus in their chart. You're a very fair person. I think this is just amplifying the Six of Cups. You're very given, but you're also very fair. I'm also getting, I don't know why I associate justice with marriage. I read it somewhere in a blog years ago, and that's all I can think of. So you might be married, or maybe you're newly married and you're getting to meet like your significant other's family, your spouse's family, and this is how they're perceiving you. Okay, that would make sense. That there's a situation I can give you advice on. And they love you, by the way. They adore you, and they see you as the sweetest little thing. but also not dumb. Maybe your spouse has brought home people that are just, you know, not the brightest bulb in the box, or whatever the saying is, the sharpest crayon in the box. I don't know how it goes, but, you know, just not the smartest. But you seem, they like that you have your head on your shoulders, and that you're smart and capable and fair and giving. With the star, there's also a sense of hopefulness for you. Look, you just bring about so much optimism and so much enlightenment to people. Yeah, you also give me a sense that you probably don't come off as very confident. You probably come off as very, what's the word? You come off as a little bit shy, but you're not actually shy. You just have that vibe about you, that you're a very sweet, shy person. I'm getting that with both the Magician and the Star. The Magician is someone who's able to do whatever they want. You're definitely a manifester. You know how to get what you want using the tools you have. And you have a strong set of skills on every level, both physically and spiritually. You probably meditate a lot. I'm also getting yoga, just because this guy always reminds me of like a yoga instructor, especially in that position he's in, because that's not easy to do. You need a lot of balance for that. With the Knight of Cups, you have a lot of charm, pile 2, and people adore you for this. With the Seven of Swords, though, I get the feeling that you tend to hide anything that is bothering you. You tend to if you have any problems, you probably don't let people know about them all that much. People would never know you're going through certain situations. I can also sense that because when I was trying to get a hold of your situation in the beginning, I got nothing except the kind of person you are. So you might be a very secretive person. You might be a little bit of an enigma or a mystery. But your bubbly nature and your sweetness kind of overpowers that. Like, people may not even know that they don't know much about you until they try to figure you out. And it's like, you know what? I don't really know much about pile 2. I just know that they're a very sweet, bubbly, and smart person. With the Tower, whatever situation you're in, you may have come into unexpectedly. I don't really get anything negative out of this. It's more like people don't know what to expect from you. Or you may have been put in your situation kind of out of nowhere. It's like you just burst into people's lives and they're kind of taken aback by it, but they're okay with that because they just enjoy you so much. I'm gonna get some tea leaf cards for more advice, or maybe a better grasp on your situation, pile 2. I'm getting a sense that people kind of get annoyed that they don't know much about you and would love to know more about you because you are so charming and sweet. Dark woman, which is funny because before I think it's had fair haired woman. Dealings or relationship with a woman with dark complexion or hair. So you might have dark. You might just change your hair color a lot. I don't know. Or you may be blonde with like dark skin, or dark haired with fair skin, you know. Shark, take care or there will be a loss of material wealth. Apple, temptation will test you. Bird, flying, news is on the way. So I get the sense that, especially if this is a situation where you come into a new group of friends, that there might be certain people in this group of circle who might be envious of you. Just because with these two cards together, I get the sense that there's somebody watching you and they don't like that you're just, you know, Little Miss Sunshine over here. They don't like that you're kind of a little too perfect, and they may be suspicious of your inner nature, especially because you don't share a lot about yourself, and that's fair. But they may present something to you that might hurt you in the long run. So this is spirit just telling you not to be tempted by anything that you know is low vibrational, not to be tempted by anything that you know will hurt you financially. It may be this person who is trying to make you look bad. But whatever this is, you will find out soon. If this is like a job, same thing. There may be somebody who does not like that you were put in a position that they felt you don't deserve for whatever reason. And it could bring a setback to your career in the form of material wealth. You might lose out on promotion, or you might lose out on a raise. So don't be tempted by falling back into your old patterns, is what I'm hearing. You worked very hard to get where you are. You work with spirit. You do so much. In helping yourself, you help others. And in healing yourself, and in having healed yourself, you're allowing others to express that as well, pile 2. I got that message from pile 1 as well. If you feel like going back to watch that one, you can. But I'm getting a very calm energy now. And this might be how you feel when you meditate, or when you do any form of energy work, and when you're channeling. You might also be a channel. And it's asking you not to fall back into old patterns. That seems to be the theme for my piles so far, is beware of your old patterns, because you worked so hard to come where you are, to allow somebody to just come in and take that from you, all because of their pettiness. But I get the sense you will not stay there. Whatever this hardship is, we still have justice right here underneath it. Like, you will come out unscathed. Also the Magician. It's like the shark is trying to cover up justice, but no, justice prevails. And here she is. All right, let's get into your advice cards. But yeah, such lovely energy. Like, even trying to say something negative to you is hard. It's like, nah. This is just a little blip in the fabric of time. All right, your advice cards. What kind of advice can I get for pile 2? We have, okay, you get 2. Mintakan. I'm gonna mispronounce it. Mintakan. Longing for home, belonging, the original light workers. Yeah, you're a light worker. The initiation, rite of passage, crossing the threshold. And boundaries. Where do you need to establish better boundaries? We also had boundaries come up in the last pile, so yeah, you might want to go check out pile 1. And cards from the ritual deck, because you'll probably enjoy this. If you do rituals, that is. You might just be a regular energy worker who doesn't work with anything. But if you do a little bit more than just energy work, yeah, okay, you get 3. So, challenge, endurance, overcoming. Flower of life, synergy, order, group consciousness. Just making sure they're in the frame. And don't mispronounce this. Wonjo. Joy, optimism, celebration. So yeah, this is just you. This is probably the rune you give off. Joy, celebration. And yeah, sure, let's give it the back of the deck because I looked at it. Yarrow, dream, charm, allure. This is you. This is how you're being perceived. You're dreamy, charming, even alluring to people. They just love your energy. With Mintakan, the lightworker original, I just get the sense that you probably find it very easy and very natural to be a light worker, and thank goodness for that, because you actually give a lot with the flower of life here. to the collective, to the people surrounding you. But you also have to set up boundaries because there will be challenges. Sometimes people don't like seeing people shining so brightly and they try to bring them down. So Spirit is just telling you to to shine your light so bright that you're protected regardless. Protective energy can be a little bit, it can make you feel small and it can make you small. That's one thing you have to be aware when trying to protect yourself, is that your light still shines brighter than your light has to be brighter than your barriers are thick, if that makes sense. With initiation, I get the sense that you're coming into something that you have to go through just because or you might be in this pile too. Maybe you do not want people to know this, or you haven't been wanting to really dwell on it, but I get the sense that you're in this little dark area, maybe in hermit mode, maybe you're just going through a dark night of the soul, but your goal is to go through here, through this portal, through this door, whatever have you, and come out. It's almost like you're trying to get here. If you're not spiritual for whatever reason, or maybe not fully, maybe you're coming into an even more powerful sense of energy work. Maybe you're coming into a more powerful state of being. Maybe your meditation is going to elevate you into something even bigger than you are currently. And people are going to notice, and it's going to bring about just such a beautiful energy. It's going to bring about beautiful life, more joy, more optimism. You might just feel like celebrating all the time, because I'm not getting, well, if you are engaged or if you get married or if you're about to have a baby, yeah, there might be a celebration here. But I'm also getting the sense that every day will feel like a celebration, and every day will feel like love, joy, and optimism. And that's how it should be. We should always be feeling amazing and great. We should always be loving this energy, but just remember to set up these boundaries. Where do you need to establish better boundaries? I forgot to read that part. Yeah, just look to where it is that you need to bring more light in order to get all the soot sprites out. Little Totoro reference there, if you've seen that movie. Yeah, now I'm getting that scene where the girls are going up into the attic and they see the soot sprites, and what is through laughter, they're able to just scare them away because it's too noisy, it's too loud, it's too bright for them, so they're just, floating away, all this darkness and dreaminess. And it makes sense because I've been giggly this entire reading, and I was not giggly in the pile before. So this is all I have for you today, Pile 2. Thank you so much for letting me read for you, and thank you so much for letting me sit in this lovely, bubbly energy. I'm sure you're tired of hearing the word bubbly right now, but I can't think of it. This fun energy. Thank you for letting me sit in your fun energy. If this resonated with you, please comment, like, and subscribe if you feel the need to. And I will see you in the next reading. Bye. Hello there, Pile 3. If you chose the Gazelle and the Shungite Palmstone, this is your reading. So instead of the traditional energy check we do for people, we're going to be doing an energy check on your situation for your universal guidance that you're receiving today. Though it might be an energy check for you as well. That did happen in the last pile. So let's see what your oracles have to say. Star Ancestor, follow the voice of your soul. We have Lysian. I cannot pronounce this. Lysianthus, desire. Go ahead and take a snapshot, and I'm going to read a few selected sentences from this. Their meanings have many parts, too, as well as marriage and desire. They represent gratitude, appreciation, comfort, and calm. It's a very lovely flower. We have hunger. I'm sorry if you can hear that, but my dog's having a moment over there. Retrograde, review. Healing the heart, power of self-love. And river of blessings, releasing constraints. Pile 3, this is such beautiful energy. I feel that you are coming back into your power somehow. If you felt drawn to any of the other piles, by all means, go back and watch those, because I get the feeling that each pile is kind of telling a section of a story, whether it's a short or a long, drawn-out story. But I'm getting a lot of solar plexus vibes here, meaning you're relearning how to stand in your power, how to activate that which gives you control over your life again. It's funny, I think you have the least amount of cards out of all the piles, which is good because it means that you don't need a lot of explanation for what it is you're going through. I'm getting the sense that you have heard your calling, you are healing, you have learned how to, you've learned self-love, and you're learning to be grateful for the things you have gone through. With hunger here, I don't really get this, well, desire and hunger. It's almost like you're regaining that zest for life, that lust for whatever it is that makes you feel whole and whatever it is that makes you feel renewed, regenerated. It's like you're reawakening from a very stagnant period in your life. You may have gone through a dark night of the soul. You may have gone through a breakup, a departure from a terrible situation. Perhaps you've been let go from a job or you quit. But this is because you have become empowered and finally know where you're going in life. Even this retrograde card, you could see it two ways. You could see this person as lost, but I'm seeing it as there's clearly one direction you have to go, and it is forward. At least surrounded by these cards, that's what I'm getting, the sense of this retrograde card. I know retrogrades, whether it's Mercury, Venus, or any of the planets that can go retrograde, usually means to stop and review and to slow down and to really process whatever it is that is happening, what is going through. But in this regard, I feel like you've already gone through all of that. I'm also noticing that every single character, animal or person or entity is looking forward. So you're finally looking forward in life, pile 3, and I'm very happy for you. I'm very glad that you have come out of whatever energy it is that you used to be. I'm getting a sense it must have been like this flower here where you used to feel withered or even in a very dark place, but now you're blooming and blossoming and being very, you're following the voice of your soul. You're following inner guidance. You're finally listening to the universe and what it has to tell you, and you're accepting this call. And you're going forward. With the gazelle here, I love how it mirrors the hunger, which is funny because the gazelle, I think, is used to being the prey out in the wild. I think they get preyed on by lions or cheetahs. I think they're a desert animal. You may live somewhere close to a desert or a desert region. But look how confident this gazelle looks. It's like it's ready to leap at anything. It's like, come at me. I am going to survive this. It's such a confident looking gazelle. But I love that there's also the acknowledgement that you have gone through something that has made you reevaluate where it was you were in life. I'm also getting a big sense of gratitude for it. Yeah, if you felt drawn to the other previous piles, they may have a little bit more to say to you, because this feels like the outcome of either one of those piles or both. Healing from the heart, river of blessings. I'm it suddenly got very bright outside. I don't know if you can tell by the lighting. I'm using natural lighting right now. I'm not using anything, but the sun is just coming in through the windows and it feels so beautiful right now. And that's the energy I'm given, like the sunshine after a rain or after a storm. But this is beautiful. I'm gonna get some tea leaf cards to read a little bit more into your situation, pile 3, but so far everything I've been reading up on feels very positive. Even the shungite, there's a combination of yellow and black here, but shungite is a very protective stone and it can ward off anything that does not need, that means you any harm. It can ward off things that mean you no harm. I'm sorry. It can ward off anything that means you harm. So because of this, you have had no harm, or you have come out unscathed from your situation. And even with a new perspective, they say once you've awakened and have become enlightened, things literally even look brighter. I remember the first time I've had like a very intense energy healing, I just looked at the world so differently. I remember driving back home and everything just felt like they had cleaned my eyes, and literally I saw more light, and that's probably why there's sunlight streaming into my kitchen. I'm reading this from my kitchen table right now. But let's look at your tea leaves. Eagle, triumph over troubles and obstacles. Yes, you've definitely overcome your obstacles, pile 3. The universe is so proud of you. I'm also loving all the circles in all of these cards, even here, very faintly. This moon or sun, I'm not sure. It's almost like you feel whole again. Turkey, someone is behaving stupidly. This is probably what you've come out of. Either you were in a situation where you were behaving stupidly and came out of it, or somebody else was behaving stupidly. Fly, a period of ill health, depression. And elephant, a long journey, either physical or mental, will leave you wiser at the end. Yeah, so I feel like this was a situation you were coming out of. Like you were around stupidity, you were around ill health, because your emotions can affect your physical health. You may have gone into a depression that suddenly left you, with a cold all the time for almost no reason, or if it was something where your throat chakra, where your expression, your voice was being hindered, then you could have suffered a lot of throat problems. I know that was very common for me when I was in certain situations. I'm also getting that because of all the blue in this card. And whether it was a long journey or not, I think regardless of whether it actually was, it definitely felt like it. And you have become such a wise person, pile 3, because of this. Yeah, I feel a lot of gratitude from you for this situation. Like, going through it was absolute shit, as expressed here by the fly. But you've become such a wiser, more dignified person. And even the eagle and the elephant, it's like they're looking back on all this nonsense that was going on, and they're reflecting and being very, very appreciative of having gone through that. It's like, okay, I know better. I know now. I know how to love myself better. I know how to release that which does not benefit me, which does not put me in my highest position to thrive, so that I can thrive for others. That's what the River of Blessings is in this selection of cards. It's weird. I'm not getting any particular astrological sign here, though you may have retrogrades in your birth chart natally, which is great, because anybody with retrogrades, whatever planet it is that you have retrograde, you tend to express that very professionally because of having dealt with so many, the impact of a retrograde, if that makes any sense. Like a Mercury in retrograde natally will be really great writers or speakers, or anyone with a Venus retrograde may have the most amazing relationships, because they understand that relationships take evaluation and they may linger longer on whatever situation it is that they are going through. Or you may have just come out of retrograde as well. I also love that 1 + 5 numerologically is 6, and 6 is the number of relationships. I get a sense this was a relationship, especially with this flower, and especially with desire. You may have been lured by somebody, sexually perhaps, and have gotten yourself into something. Or maybe you may have proposed and it didn't work out well. You may have been engaged. But regardless, you found a new desire, and that is the desire for life and a beautiful existence. And for that, I'm very proud of you, pile 3. Let's get onto your tarot. See what else we can get, or any messages and guidance. And if this is resonating, please comment below and let me know, because this is such a beautiful energy. This is like the sunshine after weeks of rain, or like the beach after a very long winter. This is what this feels like. So we have Queen of Cups. We have Queen of Pentacles too. Oh, that's lovely. Ace of Cups. 2 of Cups. Okay, this is getting ridiculous. And the Ace of Swords. There's a lot of love here. But I feel like a lot of it is for yourself, pile 3. I feel like you've regained your power emotionally. Like you're not letting anybody make you feel a way you don't want to be. You're not, or if they are trying, you know, it's not going to work anymore. Queen of Pentacles. I'm not getting so much money as I'm getting stability, emotional stability, as well as health. Like I said, you may have been feeling sick because of the situations or circumstances you found yourself under, or because of the people you were around. Maybe they were very unhealthy people, and therefore you were becoming unhealthy just being near them or living with them. And you found this sense of well-being and physical wellness. The Ace of Cups is a beginning in love, but I feel like it began with you. It began with you choosing yourself and learning to love yourself again. With the 2 of Cups, I'm getting 2 things. Either you have found somebody new that is helping you learn to love yourself even more, like a friendship or possibly a new partner. But I'm also feeling like this is an outpouring of love from other people to you, from close ones, from family, from friends, from co-workers, anybody that is seeing your situation. They're just letting you know how much they love you. And maybe through that you have learned to become this queen, regardless of your gender, this person who takes authority over their life back. With the Ace of Swords, yeah, just more new beginning, mental clarity. I'm getting mental clarity, because for all this emotion, it may have muddied your thoughts about certain things, but the Ace of Swords is clarifying everything. It's like, I see clearly now. I'm also looking at the little suns here, because like I said, it just feels like the sun is out again. There may be Leo placements here, because there's also a little lion above the 2 of Cups. So there may be Leo placements here. This is getting a lot of water energy, so Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio. You might have a lot of water in your chart. Let me get the clarifier. I was just so excited to get into all these cards that I forgot to clarify. Just because I feel like there's no need, but you never know. Let me get a clarifier for the Queen of Cups. 2 of them wanted to come out, so 7 of Swords and the Magician. Yeah, there was some shady business going on. Possibly some black magic, if whomever you're with, if that resonates, if whomever you're with practices that. Or magic to like get something through ill will. Well, no, like that makes sense. To get something they weren't supposed to. Manipulation. Let's do that. Magical manipulation, because that's very much a thing, and I'm not here for that. But let's clarify the Queen of Pentacles. 8 of Pentacles. Clarifier for the Ace of Cups. 8 of Swords. Clarifier for the 2 of Cups. Yeah, now my nose is getting a little running. Maybe you were sick. Judgment. And a lot of these cards were also in the previous readings. Just the clarifiers, not the top ones. Five of Cups. And back of the deck energy, just because this is very relevant, Knight of Wands. Yeah, you're moving forward with your life. And again, the confidence, the courage of this knight. But back to the Queen of Cups. So yeah, there was some shady business going on. This is somebody who is a master manipulator, whomever this person was. And they were keeping a lot in the dark. And I mean a lot. But this person, the Magician is usually, well, it's not really a good or a bad card. It all depends. But because it's with the Seven of Swords, which is a card of deceit, lies, and just things being kept hidden. Like, pretend you're this swan up here, all majestic, and there's shady business going on behind your back. When coupled with the Magician, this is a powerful manipulator. Or, okay, so either they're a very powerful manipulator, like they've been doing this forever, and it's like, it was hard to resist whatever was going on. So that's one thing. Two, well, I forgot number two, but yeah, this is just shady business going on, and unfortunately, you were hurt by this deception. With the Eight of Pentacles, you were hard at work at something, or you came into the situation thinking you had everything worked out. I get the sense that you progressed through life very carefully, pile 3. So it's almost like you were trying to make all these little webs, these little traps, to make sure you caught anything that was not supposed, anything that was shady, anything that was going weird. I also get the sense that you put a lot of effort into this. Maybe more so than you thought you did. With the Eight of Swords, we get somebody who is not wanting to open their eyes up to what is going on around them. Maybe you were aware, but you didn't want to see what was going on. Maybe you figured that this person was a master manipulator, but you thought, oh, I can change them, because, you know, we always think we can change those people who are out to no good, or who just do things that are not good, and your inner self is like, but you know it's not good, right? You know, you wish and you really hope that through them being with you, or with you having influence around them somehow, that they'll change, but they don't. And that's what I get with this judgment. You had to cut this off. You had to release this for your own good and for the good of everybody else. Five of Cups. You've reflected on this, and you let it keep you, away from a lot. It's almost like you knew what you were getting yourself into, and you allowed it to cloud your vision. But I wouldn't don't kick yourself for it, pile 3. We all have to learn lessons somehow, don't we? But what came out of this is something just so beautiful, because now you're essentially a queen. Again, regardless of gender, you can say king, but queen is a nurturing soul in the suits. Because this is very much an internal journey you've gone through. Maybe you've been more used to having outward, like external journeys where everything is physical, or everything is more on the surface. But with here, you have to deal with things that were going on emotionally. Maybe through baggage you've accumulated through your family. Maybe this is something your parents had gone through, and now you found yourself doing the same, and you realize, I don't want this. Or perhaps it's something that has just, you don't know where it started, but you realize it's something you had to work through, and if it hadn't been for this situation, you wouldn't have known how to grow through it, because how else would you have, you know? other than falling for this person or whatever this person was presenting. And now you know. So if it happens in the future, you know better than to fall for this tricksy magician that is not a magician but a liar. Let's get more tea leaf cards just to see any advice or anything else Spirit would like to share with us. Because yeah, even looking back at all this negativity, it's like you don't mind that you went through that. You've come to peace with it, and it takes such an evolved soul to admit this. Tea leaves, we have ink pot, problems to be resolved. June. It's funny, June came out in another pile. Broom, new home, new attitude. And butterfly, change for the better. See? So this may have happened back in June, or there could be somebody named June. I didn't even think of that. Maybe there's somebody whose name is June, or maybe this began in June. I'm not sure. But June was a significant time for you. Or if I'm recording this like after June has passed, or this will happen in June if you're not there already. But with ink pot, problems to be resolved. If there are still lingering problems, they will be resolved. Because you've come into a positive space, you can see the previous problems a lot more clearly now. So the solutions will come to you a lot more easily, pile 3. You may be getting a new house. You may be moving somewhere better. You may keep your house if it's that kind of situation where you've separated and one of you has to stay with the house and the other one has to leave. And if it doesn't have anything to do with a home or a house, you definitely have a new attitude. So it feels like you're in a different living space just because of the attitude you've accumulated through this. And with butterfly, yeah, change for the better. You've transformed, you've evolved. My dear little Pokemon, you've evolved. You might like Pokemon, I don't know. I do. Now I'm thinking bye-bye Butterfree. Not the... I don't know, I'm just thinking of that. But yeah, this has been such a beautiful transformation for you, pile 3. And I think you know this. And if you don't know this, you will come to know this soon. Or this is your sign to, hey, maybe just be grateful for all you've gone through. I'm sorry that you did have to go through all the negativity. Nobody deserves to be heartbroken. But everybody has to open their eyes sometime, you know? All right, let's move on to your final messages, your advice, oracles. I'm so happy for you, pile 3. It's like a happily ever after. Well, not exactly a happily ever after, but it's more like, yeah, I'm glad I went through that, and now I'm a better person for it. So let's get some final advice and guidance for my pile 3. We have deep replenishment, retreat, rest, be held. Priestess, how are you being called to step up and lead? And from the ritual deck. By the way, this has been like the easiest shuffling. Like, you have the exact amount of cards. Every other pile had like more cards, which is neither good or bad. It's just like this reading knows what it needs to tell you. Tiwas, sacrifice, justice, spirit warrior. And full moon, harvest, expansion, gratitude. I am currently filming this during the full moon, or the full moon was last night. Yeah, so whatever is going on here, either, I'm going to show you the back of the card, back of the deck. So either this is happening during a full moon for you as well, or you have finally completed this phase. Like, you start with the new moon and it waxes into the full moon. So you're done with this, and all that's it's just easy breezy from down here. You're coming towards the end of this if it's not already. Lots of blue here. Yeah, a lot of throat chakra energy. I mentioned that earlier. So you will find yourself being able to communicate better again. Even my throat chakra feels a lot more open and easy to breathe. With deep replenishment, I feel like this was you. You were just resting. This situation may have put you in a hibernation mode for a while, but I feel like you needed that hibernation mode, pile 3. It was very much like that forced meditation, just being in bed all day, but not all of it was negative, like being in bed all day. Sometimes when you're in bed all day, you're just resting, recovering, or closing your eyes and finding peace and quiet. I know I do that when I'm in bed. Sometimes I'm really just meditating or processing. It's when you stay there too long that it can get depressing. With Priestess, you're ready to step into this new position of power. You're ready to step in to take ownership of your life again. This was just the sacrifice you had to do, was going through this. And it's interesting that this comes up. I think this is Yggdrasil, the tree that Odin hung in for knowledge, and I'm getting that right now because that's the myth. The tree of life in Norse mythology, it grants you knowledge, and I'm taking it as universal knowledge, the ability to tap into your intuition, as well as just as know things. You have to go through some sacrifice. You have to be a student and learn and study in order to know everything. And maybe that's one way to look at this situation. Unfortunately, it just had to involve emotions and maybe somebody or multiple people getting hurt. But just take that as a study of life, unfortunately. Odin may be one of your guides. I know he's one of mine. He was the first deity I ever saw when I was when I was meditating, and it was weird because I had never thought it would be a Nordic god. I always thought it'd be like Greek or I don't know, something Aztec or Mayan, because that's my culture. I'm Mexican American. And maybe you're going through this you went through this awakening as well, pile 3. The spirit warrior, it's weird because I don't get the sense that you're super spiritual, even if you are. I feel like you are going to take this and do amazing things with it. You're going to take this knowledge and just improve for the better, whether it's for everybody else or just for yourself or for the people around you. There's expansion and gratitude. Harvest, expansion, and gratitude. I already mentioned the gratitude. The expansion, this is just where it's going to lead you, and the harvest is what you've gained through having gone through this. It's funny because the moon isn't full here, but it's this little sliver. I want to say it's waning, but you can take it however. Here's a sliver of the moon, here's the full moon. This is just your journey. With pyrite, you are becoming more abundant because of this. You have been protected and you have energy and luck, but I always see pyrite as a crystal of abundance, or mineral, I should say, the mineral of abundance. Again with the Leo energy, because there's still a Leo glyph. But that is all I have for you, my beautiful pile 3. Thank you so much for letting me read for you. If any of this resonated with you, or if you enjoyed this, please like, comment, and subscribe. And if you would like to book a reading with me, my information will be in the description as well. And until then, I'll see you in the next reading. Bye. Hi there, pile 4. If you chose the Froggy and this Garnet Palm Stone, this is your reading. Just a little bit about Garnet. This is one of my favorite stones. It is one of the more grounding, at least for me, stones that there is out there. And yeah, it's going to be interesting. Let's just get into the reading. I'm going to do the energy check, but it's going to be more to see what your situation is. This could also be an actual energy check because I did get that for one of the previous piles. But let's go ahead and start with pain. Third house, communication. Balance, stability, standing firm. We have this gorgeous flower. It's an anemone. Anticipation. You can go ahead and snapshot that to read later. I'm going to read a few sentences from here. Their name is derived from anemos, Greek for wind, and they have lots of small seeds at their centers which are carried down the breeze. An anemone's predominant meanings are positive anticipation, excitement, and expectation. They can be given to say, I cannot wait to see you, or I long to be with you. This is so sweet. And Eagle. That's funny. Eagle came out in my last reading. So if you want to go back and read any of the other piles, they've all been interconnected somewhat. They've all had something in common, which is what I expected out of this reading, which is a random universal messages from the universe. I don't even know what to title it yet, so it'll be interesting what I end up putting on the YouTube. But let's start with what's going on pile 4. So equal, see from a higher perspective. Third house, communication, pain, balance. There have been some words said. I'm looking at these little birds, and this is normal third house energy. I'm seeing a reconciliation, especially with this flower. I'm longing to see you. That's what's standing out from this anemone. You may have gone through a disagreement or a fallout with somebody. This could be romantic, but it does not have to be. It can very much be platonic. Okay, somebody is trying to come back into your life, possibly. Because I get the feeling that all these cards are actually to do with each other. With the frog, so I'm glad I actually read up on this frog the other day, but the water, this is water energy, and the frog talks about self-healing, and that's what this rain is supposed to do. It's a cleansing, spiritual cleansing rain. So you may have gone through a cleansing of your energy. You may have come out of some healing, and you found your balance, you found your power, and have gained higher perspective. The eagle here is somebody who has come back into their power. You have learned to communicate this, and you have grown from this pain. And now you're looking forward, but part of you is still looking back to see if there's anything that can be recovered from whatever it is you have gone through. This could have been, like I said, a fallout with somebody. This could have been a miscommunication. A miscommunication, or perhaps communication from somebody you did not expect. Because mercurial energy, which is the third house, can also be very unexpected. Or it can come out of nowhere. Or it can be a multitude of things. You could just be receiving a lot of messages in general. I'm getting like somebody's phone blowing up with messages. And some of them might be, I'm longing to see you. Or, what was the other one? Because this card is very pretty, or lovely. I cannot wait to see you. Yeah, it could be a friend, you know, excited to see you after learning that you've recovered from something painful, that you've come out of something that was hurting you. They see that you're balanced, and now it's like it's time to party. I'm also getting 3 of Cups energy, even though we haven't gotten into the tarot yet. But let me get some tea leaves to further elaborate on this situation. Alright, so we have goldfish. Increase in material wealth or spiritual growth. And in this case, I'm feeling it's very much spiritual growth. Mountain road. You are on the road to success. Put that next to the eagle because I think eagles like to live up in mountains. Beetle. Good fortune. Okay, so yeah, it might be money. It's both wealth and spiritual growth. And heart. Love, deep affection, and caring. Yeah. Oh, this is beautiful. So yeah, you might be receiving messages of good fortune, success, love, and all there is was this little seed of pain that you had to go through. Whatever it is that you went through, or whatever this situation was where you've been hurt, it's not going to feel like anything going forward. And I'm not saying that, you know, you will think less of it. It's more like this was just a speck of sand in my long life, and I've recovered from it and I've developed from it. Yeah, I get the feeling that this pile is connected to all the other piles. So if you want to, and if you feel called to do so, please go back and see them, because I feel like they've all been telling a long journey. This is just so beautiful. All right, so you may be a Pisces. You may have a lot of water in your chart. I get that with the frog and the goldfish, but also some earth with the mountain here. And even though I know this is a bird, these are birds, there's just a lot of groundedness in this. This is such grounded energy, pile 4, and it's very lovely. You're someone who has both your feet on the ground, head on the shoulders. Everything is right where it's supposed to be. Yes, there's nothing but good stuff here for you. Success, fortune, wealth, and love even. Not necessarily romantic love. I get the feeling you're more going towards the platonic love, love of family, love of friends, and love of self. But let's go in with your tarot cards, because I feel like there is very much that sense of anticipation. Like you're just ready for whatever's coming next with this anemone. I love this card, by the way. Yeah, there's just a sense of anticipation, despite the fact that you are looking back a little bit, just because this lady is looking behind to the pain that has been. But there's just so much good ahead of you that, like, why bother looking back? With all this communication that is coming forward of friends wanting to see you, parties that need to be had, business deals that need to be going on. It's just, you might be an impatient person, pile 4, and that's okay. I am too. Ask anybody who knows me. I think that's why my readings are so short. I'm just like ready to see what the next pile brings. So we have 7 of Cups options, 6 of Pentacles, abundance, a give and take, 5 of Pentacles, King of Pentacles, and the Hanged Man, or the Hanged One, sorry. In this deck it's called the Hanged One, which I approve of. Because there's no really feminine or masculine energy to the Hanged One. It's more like either or, neutral. To clarify the 7 of Cups, we have Queen of Pentacles. So we have the King and Queen here. We have to clarify 6 of Pentacles, we have the Ace of Swords. Clarity. Yeah, we had that in the last pile too, I think. 4 of Cups under the 5 of Pentacles. Oh, we have 2 for the King of Pentacles, 5 of Cups, and 8 of Pentacles. And to clarify the Hanged One, we have the Lovers. So it may have been, okay, well, I don't know what the fallout was, because it wasn't made clear. But going forward, there's going to be some beautiful, because I think the love card that I picked out previously was also in this corner. And anything here I'm just taking as the future. Anything here as the past. And anything in the middle can be either or. Because the future and the past affect each other. Whether you like it or not, what you're doing now affects your past and how you see it. and how you perceive it, and how you allowing your past to define you, and what you did in the past obviously is affecting you in the future because it's stuff you did in the past, and that therefore it sets that line, that that timeline that allowed you to be where you are today. But let's look at what's going on right now. So with Seven of Cups, you have so many options, and I think you were able to have achieved these options because of the groundedness that came from being able to ground yourself and nurture yourself and your body. I think one of the previous piles I also had the Queen of Pentacles, and it spoke about it in a different way. So if you are coming from another pile, hello, thank you for sticking with my reading. And yeah, because you're able to ground yourself and seek your inner stability, your emotional stability, you've been able to just have so many more options, whether this is, you know, options in friends and career paths and partners. It's opening doors for you. And usually the Seven of Cups is more like being clouded by your choices, and that might be going on, but it's more like you have options instead. And the Six of Pentacles, the give and take, you're learning how to balance out this, when to give and when to receive. And that's just what the Ace of Swords is trying to tell you. There's a clarity now that allows you to be able to give and receive when you need to. And you're more open to this. The Five of Pentacles and Four of Cups, there might still be a little seed of you that is looking back. There might still be a little bit of you that is not sure whether you want to progress forward, or maybe not willing to look at every little thing. This every little thing might be something, you see, both all characters in this are looking downwards, like they don't want to see what's up or what's coming up. And the thing that you're not looking at might be your past. It might be the things that you did, but it could also be you're missing out on one particular detail. It could be something internal, it could be something emotional, it could be a lack, or your feeling of lack of something. With the King of Pentacles here, again, we have that groundedness, that stability, both internal and external, because that's how I'm going to be seeing these in this particular reading. Yin and yang, feminine and masculine. But underneath that, there's something that's missing. Maybe it's something that you've been working hard on. It's like you invested a lot emotionally into whatever it is that you have left behind, to whatever the pain was. And even though you're stable now, you can't help but think of it from time to time. Or you're taking it very slow to come out of whatever situation this was that caused you pain, because if you move on too fast, then you're not able to process it properly, to be able to heal from it fully. And you've definitely gained new perspective on relationships. That's what I'm getting out of this with the Hanged, because these are the only two cards that are both major arcana, and they just happen to be next to each other. So if this was a relationship, or even if it wasn't, it's definitely giving you a new perspective on romance. It's giving you a new perspective on what it is that you want in life, what it is that you want to complete you, if you even feel a need for somebody else to complete you. So this could be like, maybe you do want somebody in your life, and you know a lot better who it is, what kind of person it is that you want. Or it could be, maybe I just don't need anybody in my life. I am whole by myself, and I can take on the world by myself. Okay, my jaw started hurting when I said that, so this might be something that you're working on. Pile 4. And either way, it's fine. There's no judgment for whether you are partnered or not partnered, or whether you want whatever kind of partnership you want. So lots of pentacles and lots of water. You may have a lot of earth elements in your chart, a lot of earth planets, as well as some water planets. But I'm getting more earth than anything. let's get some tea leaf cards to better explore this energy pile 4. So we have dolphin. Financial gain, usually coming from something you did in the past. Archway, new opportunities, possibilities, and pathways opening up. I'm going to put that next to the 7 of Cups because that's essentially what I was talking about, how I interpreted that card. Dog barking, advice from a friend. Yeah, again, I was going on about how it looks like people are blowing up your phone, and it could be advice from a dear friend that helps you with your perspective on this. And vulture, depression, anxiety, worry that someone is against you. So yeah, there's still that little inkling feeling that maybe it's not over, that maybe you're proceeding with caution. But I wouldn't allow this to scar you, pile 4. You're a person that is very stable, so sure of themselves, and it's like this one thing has traumatized you, but Spirit is telling you not to let it traumatize you at all. You have so many good things coming for you. Financial gain. I feel like every pile has said that. And thank goodness, because I want all of you to be financially abundant and prosperous and just living your best lives. But I feel like whatever you've gone through is just going to, and there's also a lot of pentacle suits, but there's a lot of money here, like all these, because you don't get the pentacles right away in the Shadowscapes tarot, which is this one. A lot of these opportunities might be love, they might be career, and that allows you to get some financial gain. They might be sponsorships, they might be maybe somebody has heard your story and would like you to share this and you get something out of it, something that allows you to be prosperous. The advice of a friend could make you prosperous. But whatever this little tiny feeling that is still left over, the residue of this situation you came out of, pile 4, if you are holding on to it, it might be because you feel it empowers you somehow, but Spirit is advising you to let it go, because all it does is drag you down. Give it thanks and let it go, and anticipate all these amazing things coming for you, all these possibilities and new stories, new adventures to be had. And be like this dolphin, just you might be You're the dog, by the way, which explains a lot. You're the dog people, they can get into depressive episodes and kind of stay there. Think Charlie Brown. I think Charles Schultz was also You're the dog. I might be wrong, but someone look that up, which is funny because he's known for Snoopy and he's a dog. But anyway, you might be You're the dog, and you guys tend to like to hold on to your I don't want to say negativity, more like your stories, but Spirit is here to tell you that it's okay to release it. And if you're skeptical, I mean, just try. It doesn't hurt in trying. Because it's probably hurting you more to hold on to it. Alright, let's get some final advice for you, my lovely pile 4. This entire reading has just been so lovely, by the way. I feel like I love doing these readings, I really do. So I want to take the moment to thank you for clicking on this video and allowing me to give you my spiritual channel advice, because sometimes I feel like I don't know what I'm doing, but I know I enjoy what I'm doing. Alright, some final advice for pile 4. A beautiful garnet pile. Break the chain, ancestral patterns, healing, rewriting the future. Council of Light, ooh. Divine orchestration, helpers in subtle realms. And some ritual deck cards. we have, oh, okay, you got 3. This happened in another pile too. I meant to grab 1 and 3 came out. So, here we go with that wealth again. I like Behu. Behu's one of my runes. Pink, love, romance, friendship. Waxing gibbous, refinement, adaptation, transformation. Behu, wealth, provision, and blessing. So yeah, you're breaking the patterns of your past. You're breaking free of anything that held you back. And through this healing, it's almost like you're able to revise where it is you want to go forward. Pile 4. It's almost like there's an anticipation now because you have the tools to finally be able to get on with your life and be able to orchestrate it how you see fit. That's what I'm getting through a divine orchestration, helpers in the subtle realms. If you are a spiritual person, you might be working with your guides, working with spirit, with energy, with God, whatever you call it, to make a better life for yourself. Or it doesn't hurt to try, to learn how to work with that which is unseen to create that life with that you want. With pink, I'm just getting that there's a renewed sense of self-love here, whether it's through friends, whether it's through a new romance, because that's definitely in the card. Literally, like you saw in the previous in the tarot. With waxing gibbous, again, the anticipation. This is you're building yourself up for something big and for something amazing. Waxing is when the moon is going from new moon, where you can't see anything, to a full moon. So there's that preparation, the orchestration, the anticipation. You're breaking free your spirit of ancestral patterns, by the way. So anything that your parents have instilled upon you, any negativity, any negative patterns, just the things that you learn growing up that you didn't mean to learn, but you did the subconsciously learned things. You're learning to break free of those. Pile 4, and it's always beautiful when you can break the pattern of something unhealthy in a family dynamic, in the family inheritance, because that's not what we want to inherit. We want to inherit that money. And it goes to Behu. Regardless of whatever this is, you're going to come into abundance. And again, I'm just so happy that all these piles are getting abundance, because we all kind of need that right now. And this is all I have for you, pile 4. Thank you so much for letting me read for you. I hope this resonated with you. If you have found this helpful, or if you enjoyed this, feel free to comment, like, subscribe. And if you want to book a reading with me, I am available. I will leave my details in the description below. And until then, see you in the next reading. Bye.